All the requirements for atonement were to be performed at a magnificent portable structure called the tabernacle. At the tabernacle, God promised his people, "I will dwell among them." Now, God is all present, which means he is everywhere at the same time. But in order for his people to truly understand he was with them, God manifested his presence by a cloud that came to rest above the tabernacle. Later on, the tabernacle would be replaced by a permanent structure called the temple. But until that day came, the tabernacle would be the center of all activity concerning atonement.
In the past, men like Noah and Abraham, men who followed God, had brought offerings and sacrifices to him. But now, with the tabernacle, God gave the Israelites a structured way in which to bring to him their sacrifices. These instructions were recorded for them in the books of Exodus and Leviticus. God also chose men who were to represent the nation in fulfilling the requirements that God had instituted. They were called priests. The priests were the ones who were to now bring the offerings and sacrifices to God at the tabernacle. And the leader of the priests is called the high priest.
God told the Israelites, "When any of you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock." They weren't to offer any animal, however. God gave them very specific instructions saying, "You are to offer a male without defect." All animals offered to the Lord were to be perfect. They could have no defects. This was to symbolize the moral perfection that God required. The verse goes on to say, "Have you been saying prayers? Have you been helping the poor? Have you been a good citizen?" No! The man was not examined. The man was a sinner. The animal was examined. The animal had to be perfect. It could have no defects. The animal was the man's substitute.
His behalf to make atonement for him. Remember, atonement is the turning away of God's punishment to the man God was saying, "Because this animal is taking your punishment in your place, I will turn my punishment away from you." And because the payment for sin is death, that animal was then killed instead of the man. Its blood was shed. In Hebrews 9:22, God says that without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness. And in Leviticus 17:11, God also explains, "For the life of a creature is in the blood, and I have given it to you to make atonement for yourselves on the altar." It is the blood that makes atonement for one's life, had been given in the place of another. And when God saw the blood of the sacrifice, his punishment was turned away from the man, because a substitute had taken his place. Had that animal sinned and disobeyed God's commands? No. The animal was innocent. The man had sinned. He had disobeyed God's commands. He was guilty. He was a sinner. And because the payment for sin is death, the man deserved to die. But a substitute died so that the man might live. An innocent one died in the place of the one who was guilty. And so, God's punishment was turned away.